Welcome back to the Duck Fellas podcast, episode 33. This week we are joined by Mr. Josh Batter from Wild Strawberry Lodge in Sitka, Alaska. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to having you on. It's kind of neat coming from Alaska.
Yeah, absolutely. It was something I really wanted to do. Saw you guys refer that from the homeland there. Felt like that'd be the perfect connection. Us Iowa folk got to stay together no matter where we end up. And yeah, I'm just super, like I said, super excited to be here and talk to you guys kind of about what we do and who we are and all the awesome, amazing hunting opportunities we have up here where we're at.
Yeah.
So can we start with how'd you end up in Alaska from Iowa?
Well, pretty long story. I had a career in sales for the most part, and I kind of had an annual thing that I went up to Alaska and did a fishing trip, with some buddies and kind of started small, just me. And then it went to 2 and 3 and 4 and then 5, and then the trips got longer, went from 3 days to 7 days to 10 days. And then it was like, I don't want to go back to work anymore. So a buddy of mine who I worked with, we had a pretty good gig and we were able to save up some capital, and we just kind of decided one day that we could do what these lodges and places were doing that we loved so much, and that we literally, from the moment we left, I had 51 weeks of depression going back to the real world of a job and someone telling me what to do all the time. And I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I wanted to take a shot on myself. And, if it didn't work out, at least, we tried. And I've got a pretty awesome wife that has always just been like, okay, let's do it, So that's a huge part of that. But so just long story short, we found a broker that was listing businesses for sale in Alaska that were specifically to lodges and things of that nature. And we hunted for about 2 years, and we just wanted whatever the one we did to feel right, and the right place, the right time, the right people. And I think there's also just a sixth sense kind of thing that comes with that, recognizing, it's like, I'm supposed to be here. I was meant to find this, and that's what we found. And here we are. This is our 3rd season.
And that's awesome. I love it.
That is wild. What, you said you're from Iowa? What part?
I'm from a little town called Goldeneye. It's on the Iowa Missouri border, I-35. Little Graceland University's there, small college town. It's about 1,000 people or so.
Yeah, I actually when I was moving to Iowa, I almost bought a house in Lamoni, or just north of town.
Yeah, wow.
Been down there too many times. That's where my sister went to college, and Leon Rodeo's not too far from there. And
oh yeah.
So I live in La Villa now, so it's a little further south than I'm used to. Not quite that far.
Yeah,
but no, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it's working out, because you got to bet on yourself and you got to take some chances. If nothing changes type thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just kind of the way I felt. It's like corporate America will always be there if I want to go back, right? And which I don't, but and it's passionate about people and fishing, and those two things. I kind of realized is like, when I wasn't working, I was either fishing, thinking about fishing, online shopping for fishing, or you know how it goes. And there's a certain point, it was like, I have to figure out how to get paid to do this. Like, it's gonna drive me crazy. But I own a fishing lodge. I fished the least amount I did. I always joke with the customers, like, I fished more in the corporate world because I had a great job and I could write my own schedule. We had a cabin down on Truman Lake in central Missouri, and I was a big crappie guy. And when LiveScope came out, it was like a 12-year-old on the porn site. I couldn't get away from it. It's like the moment and I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And so
absolutely.
That's all I did.
Now, before you went up there, did you do much waterfowl hunting in Iowa, or did you just?
No, that's a crazy thing. Not at all. So not once. I've got some friends that do a little bit in our hometown. We got a lot of fields around us. We have a lot of Canadian geese, and I guess we do have some wood ducks and probably some mallards that come through there. But I never was into it. They were always frustrated. They would maybe hunt 5 or 6 times and maybe come back with 1 duck, maybe get lucky and know where a pair of wood ducks were on some farmer's pond and go whack them. But it was not a very big part of our community. And when I bought the lodge, I always loved just going to Safari Club. But I was a Safari Club member, a Ducks Unlimited Vits. If anybody invites me to a banquet, like, hey man, I got a couple seats. You want to come? Like, I've done Delta Water. I've done them all. I love going to those things. You get to go have some beers with like-minded people and bid on stuff that you don't need, and maybe go home with a gun.
Yep.
So,
Drop.
yeah, right. So they had an event in Sitka, and we had been here like 3 weeks. After buying the lodge, my dad was in town helping us with remodels, and I saw it on a Facebook ad, and I clicked on it. It's like, hey, we got a table for $600. I was like, you know what? I got 3 or 4 deckhands that are here right now working hard for me. One of them's a big time waterfowl hunter, and he was guiding in Kansas and Tennessee a little bit. And he came up to learn the deckhand trade, and actually now he's got his captain's license. We'll talk more about him later. But I said, hey, let's just buy the table. So we bought the table and went down there. And the guy that was running the event was from Kodiak, and he was an outfitter. And I won 2 guns that night. And I went up to talk to him at the end, and he kind of started asking about the lodge. And I said, why don't you come over for dinner tomorrow? So he came over for dinner at the lodge, and he said, you're missing out. He said, I'm solid booked. I'm turning people away, and there's no one on Baranof Island that does any duck hunting seriously. There's a few people that'll offer it along with their Sitka blacktail transport hunts, but nobody says we're gonna go duck hunt. We're gonna go. I'm like, well, I don't know anything about ducks, and he's like, you don't have to. They're everywhere. So we bought an overnight vessel very soon after. A little bit impulse on that one.
Those are the best buys.
Yeah, with plans to start to get a transport license, which we did, so we can do big game transport services, and to do what guided waterfowl. But the whole point was we wanted to build more revenue for the company, even though it was already very established. We bought a fishing lodge that had been started by a lady, and it was 33 years. And like 80% of our clients have been there 10 to 20 times. Some people come every year. And we're like, how can we get a little more revenue? Well, we got to get on the shoulders of the season. So what can we do in April? What can we do in September and October? Because when the fishing's gone, and the weather gets not great and pretty big seas. So yeah, we kind of just ran with it, did it. And we're like, all right, this fall, I was like, the only thing I know to do is I need media. So I invited my 4 or 5 buddies up, and I'm like, hey, come up to Alaska. Let's go smash some ducks. I've never done this before. I've never run a long line, but I'm going to buy the stuff and we're going to do it. They came up that September. We did it. And then we came back in November and did it. And last year was our first big year with clients. It went really well. This year we're offering hunts from the Alaskan Legacy, which is the overnight boat. Also, we're doing some out of the lodge if people don't want to stay on the boat. And the boat has a 4-person minimum, and it's like a 6-day trip. But so yeah, that's kind of how it all took off. And I'll tell you guys, the point I'm getting at, I fell in love. And it was like when I first saw Alaska at 31 years old, I was upset that I had lost out at least 11 or 12 years of my adult life that I could have. Because if I would have been like some of these boys at my lodge here that found this place at 18, I would have never went home, ever. So yeah, the first time those birds came into the decoys, I can't tell you, it was pure ecstasy for me. I mean, I was a pheasant hunter when I was a kid, back when there were birds, and I would relate it to that. Like when you get a nice rooster, dog points it and it jumps out 4 feet from you, you can almost feel the feathers, and the air going against your face when it flies in front of you. And I would relate it to that. I was never really a deer hunter. I always just did bird hunting with my dad. So I don't know. It was just like, I was like, I can't believe I haven't been doing this, and
it's a drug.
It is.
It is.
Nobody likes them acorn cow hunters anyways.
Yeah. And
Thanks.
they spend a lot of time back home, man. And they they struggle, and those mallards are so scared. If they hear a car door slam 4 miles away, they're not gonna land, and I see all these guys in painted faces and dug in burrows in the ground. I got clients that sit in blue jeans and smoke Marlboro 100s on the rocks, and the birds will land.
Oh, this is my kind of party.
Yeah,
So
you guys are getting to shoot them before anybody else does. They've been sitting there all year
they
vacationing.
these birds have never been shot at.
Yeah.
Most of these birds have never seen a human other than just like a boat, like a commercial boat, going by, maybe a couple guys on the back deck. Like when you shoot at them, they look at you and they're like appalled that you did that. They're like, I can't believe, like they're so mad at themselves that
This
they've been fooled.
this bitch
Yeah.
is trying to fly around.
The fucking
And-
rocks have got guns.
Yeah.
And we have lots of resident birds too. We have some that don't even make it down to Oregon and the West Coast. Like, we have resident Harlequins here. We have tons of puddle ducks, but nobody's paying me to come up and shoot mallards. I could take you back in a bay where there's 400 mallards in December or October, November, December. Pintails, and I'm not kidding you guys, like sometimes thousands of them. They're harder to hunt back there because you gotta go really early and almost like belly crawl back there because they're the end of these big bays, and they're, it's like dead grass, but it like goes on for miles. So they're pretty smart. They know they can go back there, and there's really no predators here. Bears aren't going to catch a duck. So, but same with the geese. I mean, I've seen some bays with 1,500 geese, and sometimes when they make the mistake and come past us, we make them pay. But for the most part, the guys are after the divers, and those are kind of out more in like the rougher water on the outside.
No, what's your guys' most common birds for people wanting to come up there and hunt?
Well, the number one thing that people want, my little friend here.
I was gonna say it had to be a Harley.
Yeah.
So this is, it's a Harlequin Drake that was shot in November of last year, and we take him to the trade shows. He's kind of my little puppet, and it's funny working the trade shows. I can't tell you how many guys have ran their baby stroller into the person in front of them walking, because when they see this thing, back to the me and the live scope thing, it's like, they'll run right into their wife. The wife will like look at him like, "What are you doing?" It's at least 10 guys every trade show. They don't know how to act. They see it and they're like, "Honey, that's a Harlequin. Look at hey boy, look at that. Your daddy wants one of them." Well, I'm here to tell you that Alaska is the last state that non-residents can shoot a Harlequin. It is over in Oregon. It is over in Washington State. They are just doing a draw now in Washington State.
Really?
Now, you might be able to get some like up in like Newfoundland or Maine. I don't think so. I think they're a West Coast bird. So as far as I know, we're the last state you can get a Harlequin as a non-resident. You can shoot 4 of them, which I think is very generous. And so, but to answer your question, the Harlequin, the Barrow's Goldeneye, we have the Barrows up here, and they're in the tens of thousands of them. I've had 40 Drakes come to a spread once with no hens. They are wave after wave after wave. You'll shoot your 7, and then you'll have to watch 500 more come to your decoys before lunch. Just a Barrow's Goldeneye.
Jesus.
We have longtail old squaw.
Yep.
Which you can shoot in the Great Lakes and on the East Coast, but there's still usually a pretty high bucket list for people. We've got buffalo
right?
head. Yep. That's the teardrop.
Yep.
Really pretty. They're purple, they're green, depends on which way the sun hits them. Ours are very kind of purplish. And then got buffalo head, which a lot of people have buffalo head. We have the common scoter. That's the one that looks kind of like the clown. It's got the yellow beak. And we also have the white wing scoter. So 5 of those are usually on, if the waterfowl hunter is trying to do the top 50 ducks or whatever it is, 5 of those are on that list. And
Right.
sea ducks, they're like the top 5. I got 5 out of the top like 7. So
Yeah, obviously it's just a Harlequin, I think, is enough. Like, I have told these guys, and even on a previous podcast, talked about how bad I wanted to shoot a Harlequin because I think they're beautiful birds,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, get some of them. Tyler's a diver hater.
Just a bird for you in general be cool because I mean you still
would
took your
be.
first one.
Yeah, I know it's been rough. Been a rough go at it.
Well,
But
don't come try to shoot these things. These are hard to kill and they're hard to hit. You get some practice.
Now for those, do you guys do you guys run like a tighter choke or is it like an improved cylinder best for diver hunting and whatnot for just how fast they fly?
It really depends on how you shoot. So to give you an idea, we try to get the tide and where we're sitting with about 30 yards from where they're going to try to land to where we're at. So I have some guys that want a wider pattern so they can get them, I don't know, get a better they also
Spray and pray.
yeah, but and also like the mallards are big, right? These ducks
Yeah.
aren't as and like the mallards, they do this like it's like a 747 jet slowing down. Divers don't do that. They come in like an F-16 and then they just drop and they land on the water and they skid like skis and I'm like just right in the middle. I know that I'm not going to be able to get a 70-yard shot off, but if they come within 30 or 50, I want a little bit of a spread. They're very hard to kill, guys, unless you hit it like perfectly in the head or the eyeballs or something. I can't tell you how many birds, this one included, like he got a great shot on them and he knocked them down and they put their head up and they dive. And maybe they pop out 100 yards down. Maybe you don't ever see them again. You have to count that against your bag limit. But
God,
they're
you get the guy off.
extremely tough. I've seen a scoter shot like 9 times and it was still diving.
That's why I hate shooting divers because they piss me off whenever they do their acrobatics.
Yeah.
And
And they taste terrible.
Yeah. I don't enjoy eating them by any means.
No.
so you've got a total of 4 Harlequin you can shoot as a non-resident.
Yeah. So 7 puddle ducks a day, 7 sea ducks a day. So you shoot 14. Very generous. However, when you get to 4 of any sea duck, you're done. That's annual. So if you shoot 4 white-winged scoters your first morning, you can still shoot 3 more sea ducks that day, but you're now done for white-winged scoters for the year. The nice thing is they move the Barrow's Goldeneye, even though it's a diver, out of the sea duck bag into the common bag because there's so many of them. So you can shoot 7 a day and I think up to a 3-day limit. So like you're talking like 21 of those, just those. And you don't even have to shoot a hen here unless you want a mated pair or something like that, which is fine. Our clients don't even have to shoot. There are so many drakes. Like you can easily, you'll have that many opportunities. You can easily wait and again, shoot what you want. But I've never had a client go out and whack 3 female scoters on first light. Like just wait another 5 minutes,
Right.
Yeah, I've heard of that being a problem with a lot of species out there on the west coast of the male to female ratio. And it's like pintails, especially the drake to hen ratio on pintails is out of control.
Yeah.
But I've heard that on a lot of them out that way.
We try not to shoot them. You can. I mean, I'm never upset with anybody when they do, but I'm just like, just wait. Just next wave, we're talking 2 minutes.
Well, I think all of us as outdoorsmen try to kill as many drakes as we can over hens just because the hens are the one that lay the eggs every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And I mean, obviously, when you're taking those pile pictures, you want the prettier birds for that.
Right.
See, I didn't know that Alaska was pretty much the only state left you can kill Harlequin in. That shocks me.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was a little. I didn't know. I knew it was kind of a rare bird to kill, but I didn't know it was getting that hard to kill.
Yeah. Well, and what worries me is, anytime you're the last person doing something,
you're next on the chopping block.
So you're next on the list. And now I've talked to a few ADFG people in waterfowl, and they're like, these populations are incredible. It's not a population thing. It's just why would you, right? If you don't have to, like maybe drop it down to 2 or something, or maybe just, only one of those 4 can be a hen. But the population is not hurting at all. And honestly, for as big of a trip as it is to come up here and do that, I think getting this bird is kind of what makes it all worth it. The other ones are super cool. The scoters are awesome. The longtail are awesome. But we have such a mixed bag, and you just never really know what's going to come through. That's the other thing is we don't have to switch a lot of areas. They're just everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
Now-
definitely one that's when it comes in, you shoot it, right? And you're like, oh, cool, killed one. But you come for one specific bird, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see a lot of people coming for that, like just that one. Like that's one on a lot of waterfowl hunters' bucket list is a Harlequin.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys see many speck bellies up that way, or because I know a lot of speck bellies come from like northern, northwest Alaska and stuff like that. I didn't know where you guys are at there. If you see many of the speck belly geese.
We're in southeast, so we're down by Juneau. We're on the outside. We're on Barrow Island, so I'm closer to Seattle than I am to Anchorage. So no, and I think there's something about them in the regulations that we can't, or maybe it's a speculated eider or something like that. That we're not allowed to shoot. That I've never even seen one, but I've never seen one of those. A lot of people ask me about Brant. I think you can shoot them. I've never seen them.
I think that's more of an East Coast thing, if I'm not mistaken.
I got a buddy in New Jersey that kills quite a few Brants every year.
Yeah. Pretty much what I listed off is everything that we have. We do have a very good population of common mergansers, and we shoot every single one we can.
God.
Yes. In our 4. And let me tell you another one almost impossible to kill. And here's why. They say, I get my 4 every year. They say a common merganser will eat up to 5,000 salmon smolt in its life. That's 5,000 king salmon. So we're in this king salmon crisis.
Holy cow.
We're not going to get too derailed. We didn't talk about fish today. We can do that another time. But we're in a king salmon crisis up here. And you've got these birds out here eating. And I'm telling you, the mergansers, they're everywhere. They should liberalize that one to like 7 or 10 a day. There are so many of them, and they are hard to kill. They swim extremely fast. They can dive. We have caught mergansers mooching for salmon with a herring 60 feet down. They bite a hook from a fishing pole.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's insane. And they're still like, why would you not want to, like, knowing where they're at with the king salmon? Why would you not be like, hey, we should up the numbers of this?
Yeah,
see if we can't help stop a little bit. Not that anybody wants to shoot a merganser, but
I personally have a personal vendetta against all mergansers now after this past season.
Yep.
I got smoked by one in the morning on the boat ride. He came flying through the boat blind. Everybody else ducked. I, for some reason, just stood there and watched it fly in my face.
No, that's wild. So what is your season there?
It opens September 1st. And it runs till December 1st or November 30th. And then for some reason it closes for 15 days. And then they open it back up from like December 16th to 31st. And I asked them why they did that. And they gave me some like, well, we have to have a closure somewhere. And when we had it over Thanksgiving, people complained because they were home for the holidays. And I'm like, well, I think they should eliminate that. November and December is when you get the birds to look like this in that color.
Yeah.
September and October, your Harlequins are going to arrive. The ones that aren't year-round residents, which we do have some, but the majority of them arrive, and they're brown. Or, they change very fast when it gets cold and when the snow flies. So we don't even sell. Well, we're still fishing 7 boats a day until the 20th of September.
Okay.
So we don't even sell a trip until the middle of October, all the way past Thanksgiving, because you don't want to have these guys come up here and shoot their Harlequin and they're brown,
Yeah.
So they change fast, but the full plumage, the colors, man, I can't even explain it to you guys. Just seeing that on the water or in the air, and it's not just the Harlequin. The scoters get that bright orange. A lot of the ducks with the white, the Barrow's Goldeneye, like you can see that purple and green shimmer in their heads when they're flying and the sun's out. It's incredible. It really is.
That's wild. It's crazy how much longer you guys get for a season though in the Pacific Flyway compared to what we get.
Yeah.
It's definitely a much different scenario. But like when you talking about people being mad about their season being closed through Thanksgiving, I know Illinois just had that. They changed their seasons this year, and they had a big problem with a bunch of people being mad because they were going to have a split, I believe during Christmas time. And everybody threw a big fit because that's when kids are out of school. and it's their chance to go
Yeah.
and hunting. So they ended up changing all that around to where they avoided that split around Christmas just for the youth and people that are off work.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure why they close, but for 2 weeks they close. And, that time of year too, it's the seas are getting pretty big usually that time of year. So it's usually a great time to pull the last boat out and kind of it's like, don't want to go duck hunting in 8-foot waves and a 14-foot Lund. Yeah. So
I mean,
Tyler would.
that would be something exciting to me. But
well, it's an adventure just going every day, guys. So whether you go from the lodge or whether you're out on the Alaskan Legacy, just getting up and getting your waders on and getting into those skiffs and driving across the pitch black and the ocean. And then when you finally do beach, the guide has to go check for brown bears. It's like,
that was a question I had: is how often you encounter bears while sitting on the bank waterfowl hunting?
all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Good thing I can run faster than Zach. We're on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine with me. I mean, if that's how we go out, that's that's what the Lord intended.
No. Or sea lion stealing your ducks after you shoot your Harley, and the sea lion comes up and grabs it and swims away. And I'm like, well, that counts. Sorry.
Oh man,
Dude, that would be tough.
that would be rough.
Yeah, it's happened.
My
So
shoot.
usually not that often because you're shooting a lot, but they're curious. They come over and look at the decoys, sniff around them a little bit.
You ever had them come just take the decoys?
No, they've never pecked the decoys. They've stolen birds though. Yeah, or what we think. They go sniffing around and then we go over there and the bird's gone. And
Right.
luckily, it was never a Harley. I think it was like a merganser or maybe a scoter. But yeah, you've got that. In November, we have our biggest boar tides of the year. It's always the first week, and that's like our prime time. That's our best week. And we have like 13.5-foot tides every 6 hours, 4 times a day, up, down, up, down. So to put in perspective, I broke it down the other day for a friend. It's like a foot for every 26 minutes or something.
Dang.
Holy shit.
So you anchor your you drop guys off, you go get on the spread, you anchor the skiff in like waist deep water, you come back in 45 minutes and it's almost on the beach.
Damn.
Yeah.
I seen a buddy of ours here, Chase Sanders, commented and said bald eagles swipe down and steal Barrows all the time too. They stole 8 of them from this fall.
Yeah.
Wonder if it's that shimmer, like if that bird specifically, is it just a shimmer of the head? Like that.
Bald eagles eat an incredible amount of ducks. We have right outside our lodge, there's a big rock right in the bay in the harbor, and it's like 30 yards from our lodge. And the lady we bought the lodge from, her daughters still work with us. They grew up there. They call it Kill Rock. And the eagles sit up in the tree and they wait for the ducks and the mommy ducks and all the ducks just to start swimming out. They come down and grab them and take them over to that rock and they rip them to shreds. I've seen it. And it's like every 2 or 3 days. They eat a lot. I bet you over 100 ducks die on that rock every year.
God,
Just
love
That's
eagles.
rough.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Those
But I've
ducks
only
are, a big part of the ecosystem up here.
Yeah. So, we're talking about you getting your waders on, or you're staying in the boat, or you're staying in the lodge. So how, like, when you called it the Alaskan Legacy, right? Is the big boat you're sleeping on?
Yep.
How big of a boat is that? Like, am I covering up with burlap and a 16-foot Lund, or is it like?
It was 14 foot.
You'll have to check it out on the website. I guess I could probably pull a photo here, but it's 52-foot catamaran. It's purpose built for Southeast Alaska. It was built for a bear guide for imprint of POW years ago, and we got our hands on it. It sleeps up to 6 guests plus 2 crew. We have a big kitchen area, big dining room, big back deck. We just got done fishing off of it we had 5 or 6 trips with groups that came up and did some freshwater, did some saltwater. We had a group from Field and Stream come up and shoot some stuff. They did some steelhead fishing. So it's got 2 skiffs that come down with a crane. It lowers 2 skiffs down, and it's a lot of fun. I would compare it. I tell people it's like camping out here. Yeah, bring it around, honey. She wants to show you.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Oh, my Lanta.
Okay. I think that's the one was it on your logo or on like what
Yeah.
front page of your website or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's the Alaskan Legacy. That was so, the nice thing about that boat, you're there, right? So they go drive out. Last year we went a lot further away than we're gonna do this year. Last year we were about 80 miles from town, which is like an 8-hour drive at 10 knots. And you have 8 hours of daylight that time of year, 7.5 or 8. So, but the nice thing is you wake up at dark and you're just a skiff ride over to where you're hunting, and there's so many birds and the populations are so high. We're talking like you're skiffing maybe 300 or 400 yards, right? Flat, calm water. We try to play the tide right and the weather right. But that time of year, the reason why we booked that 5 or 6 day trip on the Legacy is because one of those days, if not two, you probably can't even leave the boat. It's just there's once a week there's a big storm that comes through. In Florida, they would call it a hurricane. Like if you look at the weather and you look at the Windy app, which is like an app that I live on for fishing and for
Yep.
I use that app for all time for work.
Sometimes just like in November or December, just scroll up in the Gulf of Alaska and then drag it, 5 or 6 days along, and it's just one after another. But it's Alaska, so nobody calls it a hurricane. When it hits landfall here, the mountains tame it out a little bit, but you're gonna have rough seas for a couple days. So I always tell people, like, come up for a week. You're gonna pay for a 5 or 6 day hunting trip, and you're gonna hunt probably 4, maybe 5 of those days. But the days that we are able to hunt, we get 2 hunts. So we get a morning hunt, we come back, we warm up, switch rain gear because yours is going to be waterlogged. We usually have some soup and sandwiches, chili dogs or something for lunch, try to warm everybody up. And then about 1
Zach
o'clock,
would love it.
we go right back out and we hunt until dark. So you're getting 2 3 to 4 hour hunts, or 2-3 hour hunts.
Yep.
At the days that you can hunt. So if you only got to hunt 4 of those days, you
You have
8
8 chances to kill the bird you want to kill.
for sure. And there's going to be lots of birds killed every time. I can think of one time we went in for a 3-hour sit and we only got maybe a dozen birds. That was like worst ever.
That's pretty solid.
And that sitting longer.
Sitting 8 hours.
Right. And it's oddly warm too. Like, one thing I'll tell you, so we're in Southeast. That time of year, we're 45 degrees in rain. It's always colder. My winter house is in Kansas City, or was. We're currently selling it, but it's always colder in Kansas City in November, December, January than it is in Sitka because the ocean keeps it warmer, and it just kind of hovers at the coldest time of the year around 35, 38 degrees. You don't have a big influx in temperature like you see in the Midwest. Like, we never have those 30, 40 degree swings like you guys have in 3 days, ever. And from night to day right now, we're going from probably 60 as the high in the middle of the day and probably 55, 54 at night. So it doesn't fluctuate a lot. So last year I had a couple groups of these South Carolina guys come up. All they ever shot was wood ducks. And oh my God, they were a lot of fun. We had 2 groups of them. They went through like a case of ammo between the 4 of them. But they come bundled like they're going to Siberia, right? Because it's Alaska, and it's 45 and rain. You just have to have really, really good rain gear, and probably 2 sets of it. Because even if you sit in it the whole time and you're dry, after you sit in it for 6 hours, even your raincoat's saturated on the outside.
Right.
What kind of rain gear do you guys use? What's your guys' go-to on rain gear?
So I'm a Kuiu purist. My business partner loves Sitka stuff, but he's had to have his waders repaired like 4 times. I've never had a problem with mine. I've seen a lot of First Light. I've seen everything. I've seen guys with just the cheap stuff they bought at Rogers Sporting Goods and Liberty.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of waders fail though. A lot of the cheaper ones, the Frog Togs and stuff like that. Not to bash them, they make some great stuff, but I've seen some. But I'll just say it this way: you want a $700 to $900 pair of waders to come up here, and you want a $400 to $500 jacket. You want a real Mine's called like the Storm Quest or something. You want a real rain jacket.
Right.
Not
Now, you said you have the Kuiu waders.
I do.
How do you
Mhm.
like them? I've seen them. I've never seen them in person.
I love them. It's the only item they don't give us a discount in our guide program. So it was really hard. It was really hard for me to spend money for that, but they have been amazing. So they're boot built in. I have both kinds of waders. I have a lot of fly fishing waders that are Sims that are, boot, the booty and then the boot on it, right? The boot gets wet. But I really like the Kuiu ones. If they have a built-in thermal layer in the boot, so they're like a pretty warm boot, and then pretty flexible in them. I'm a pretty big guy. I was actually even a lot bigger. I've lost a lot of weight in the last year. So everything up here in the zippers, all totally waterproof. It has an area I can put my hands in right here. So they've just been good for me. I know everybody has their own flavor, but you got to have really good rain gear. That's a must. And if you just come up to, to visit, your normal shotgun's okay. You're going to be cleaning it twice a day. But this place eats guns, the salt water. And we had so many guns fail. We were running TriStars. They couldn't last like 2 days. And I ended up getting a Browning A5, and that has yet to fail me. And but like you hit the rocks, it's rough. It's soaking. It's just pouring, some days, and like you're, putting loads in, and you could just look down and see the water dripping inside the inside of part of your gun. You're like, is this even gonna shoot? Like,
Right. Yeah, it's one thing I will say. Browning makes one heck of a gun because we pretty much all shoot Browning or Winchester, and it's I mean they don't really let you down in any scenario.
Yeah. No, I've been happy with it, and I've seen all kinds of stuff. I've seen all kinds of guns. My favorite shotgun is just, what Dad gave me, just the old 870 Wingmaster, just the F-150 of the shotguns.
Yeah.
And it's been a great gun, but it couldn't handle it up here. I didn't even bring it because you want Cerakoted. I mean, it's just the rust is. I've got a 4570 I bought for bear protection, and my first year I came up here, I went camping, and we went off and on the boat on the saltwater, and I came home and I put it in the safe, and I didn't think anything of it. Came back to get it 3 months later, and on the barrel there's a rust spot that's my 3 fingers grabbing it. That's right where just my hand touched. I had salt water on my hand, and I grabbed the barrel, the hand of the guy.
That's wild.
Or whatever. Yeah, yeah. It was like maybe 60 days.
That yeah, crazy. Well, let's talk a little bit about your guys' fishing part of it here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. I mean, obviously it's that you said it's that time of year where you guys are hanging and banging and going at that pretty hard right now. What all do you guys fish for?
Yeah, fishing's been great. The cohos are in, silver salmon are in. So July and August are our prime time. We're booked out to like 2029 right now in August. But the lodge was kind of started as a king salmon lodge, and that was like May and June, and then coho season got here, and that was just kind of a bonus. But now it's kind of flipped the script because king salmon's been difficult. We're one of the only places you can even retain them right now. They're pretty much shut down everywhere else in the states. You can keep some down in Washington on the West Coast. It just depends on when and where, and if they're hatchery kings or if they're natural kings. So I would call us a multi-species. So you're going to get your rockfish. You're going to get right now yellow eyes open. We got ling cod when they're open. We've got nice trophy halibut with a program called GAF. We have normal halibut right now. I think we're like one a day under 34 inches for chartered fish. We can catch black cod here, which there's not a lot of other places in Alaska you can do that. You have to get out to like 1,700 feet to do that, and you use electronic reels. So we've got a good mix. We've got all 4 species of salmon. We can get sockeye salmon. That's usually on the Alaskan Legacy overnight trip, but we kind of do it all. Combo species, and guys go out every day. We run 7 boats. They're 6-pack boats. So 42, whatever that is, clients go out a day and they get as much as they can, and they fish multiple species in multiple spots. They leave the dock at 5:30, and they're not back till about 4 every day.
Dang.
So of those fish, personal preference question, right? Which one is your favorite to catch? I mean, I feel like guys can go up there and they want the multi-species, but
Mm.
kind of like it's a duck thing, right? I feel like some guys are, your hardcore fishermen go up and go, I want to catch a king or a steelhead or whatever.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so many. I mean, steelhead's pretty amazing. Probably halibut. Before the live scope era of my life, I was always a bottom fisherman. I loved catfish, ran trot lines a lot as a kid and as an adult. Trying to figure out that big flathead, trying to outsmart him, catching bait days in advance, making a bait tank in my backyard full of bluegills. And my wife remembers that. She's shaking her head. I mean, I'd done all that ratchet stuff.
I used an IBC tote and a bunch of lava rock with a bubbler and add the bullet and everything.
Yeah, I've done it all. So for me, the answer is halibut. They're the apex predator, and they're very interesting to target. And we have huge ones here. We have 300 and 400 pound fish that are out there eating other fish whole. I love this fish with live bait, live pink salmon. 12-pound fish. Put it on a hook and send it down. When that thing gets swallowed, it's
game time.
It'd be fun.
That's cool.
We have salmon sharks. I've never caught one. I've seen. We have 2 or 3 clients a year that get them. I really like to get one of those. Those are really gnarly. So it's all kind of weird stuff. We had tuna come this high last year. We had albacore tuna because the water got up to like 63 degrees, come all the way up from like the West Coast. And there are not really any charter businesses out there, but a lot of people that we know are out there just hammering a dozen albacore tuna 25 miles offshore. Some commercial fisherman saw them, called somebody, and the next thing you know, any boat.
Everybody's out there chasing.
Everybody with the commercial license is out there.
Anybody with a boat is, and we went out one day and looked for them. I did. I'm not gonna lie. So
it's crazy how fast word spreads these days.
Yeah. Well, it's such a small window. They were there for like, I think it was like 7 or 8 days, and they're just gone. That's kind of how sockeye salmon are. It's like, oh, they're up in the bay, and then we get a big rain, and like all the fish pass through the weir that night, and they're just gone. Just like 20,000, like just up the river.
Damn.
So, but it's all fun, and our lodge is great. It's great. We've got 90-year-olds out here fishing. We've got kids. So we can accommodate anyone. It's a very family friendly. We still have our groups of guys that come up and like to get rowdy, but we can handle anything from a bachelor party to an annual family to a family reunion. Whatever it is, or just fishing with the fam. It doesn't matter. We've got lots of opportunity for non-fishing guests too. Like if the wives want to come, but they're not interested in going out on the big water, we've got a great staff. And they take care of everybody, so I can't say enough about them. We've got 44 on the staff, and we take care of you from door to door.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I did a little bit of looking into your guys' website and reviews and stuff like that, and it's fairly well reviewed place from everything I've found. Didn't really see any negative comments on it at all.
Yeah, we've got a 5.0 with TripAdvisor, which is basically impossible with over like 500 reviews, and our Google reviews are 4.6 or 8. And if you go through there, when we went to buy the lodge, I could only find one bad one, and it was like some guy that lost his luggage or something. Like it wasn't even
nothing to do with the lodge whatsoever.
That's
and you're never gonna make. I was just say you're never gonna make everybody happy, no matter what. Anyway, there's always gonna be a Karen out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've got enough business, that we can even be selective. Like we have certain standards, we have certain expectations, even of our clients. And if you come and you stiff the captain and you don't tip him, you bring 6 people there for 3 days, and other than having a reason to come tell me, the owner, that something was wrong, like you can get blacklisted. And it's just like we're a family up here, and everybody takes care of everybody. Like 4 of my 7 captains have been here over 20 years, 2 of them over 30, and they have a following. Like these guys have people that have been fishing with them for years, and a lot of these guys don't even have any openings unless you come in like May or early June to even fish with them. But we have people that want to come back. It's time and time again. Like I said, door to door service. We do everything right. We take care of everything so they don't have to. They don't touch their fish box until they get to their home airport and it comes off the conveyor belt. We handle all the processing. We do all of our food. The only thing that's not included in our price is airfare, alcohol, taxes, and gratuity.
Damn
So,
it.
yeah, you got it. But we'll take you to the liquor store and we'll put the ice.
Well, now that you mentioned rates, let's kind of go through your rates here for like what
Yeah.
I don't know, your normal fishing trip or hunting trip or just a few
Or
of some of
what
the
you would expect to spend, right, on your
yeah.
average weekly
Yeah.
fish, your average.
So we sell 2, 3, and 4 day fishing trips. So our most common is 3 days fishing, 4 nights accommodations. It's like $3,500 plus tax per person. And then I think the 4 days around 4,300, something like that. Our hunting trips, I think I started the lodge ones this year. I think it's like a 3-day, 4-night, and I did like a $29.50 special on it. The Legacy is a 4-person. You got to have 4 guys to play. That one's $49.95, and it's 6-day, 7-night. One of the nights is at the lodge before you go to the boat. That's all. That's everything. That's your meals. The fishing lodge, that includes your licenses. The hunting part, I don't include those because some guys they have their federal stamp. Most of them already do. And it's about $90 to duck hunt up here. Some guys want a deer hunt, and we're a transporter for that. So, but yeah, so to answer your question, I mean, our most expensive trip is $5,000 for about a week, and our cheapest one, our 2 days, like $2,600 to come fish for 2 days. But that's all your fish processing, it's all your food, all your transport. We'll take you anywhere in town. We'll take you to the liquor store, wherever you want to go. We give you bibs and rain gear and rain jacket for our fishing stuff, so you don't have to bring any of that stuff. Nobody wants to pack boots. Nobody wants to pack gross, salmon smelling rain gear. So we include all that, and we take care of you from door to door.
I don't know. Zach likes to bring his Curious George rain suit.
Yeah, I'm
It's
a
usually
big
what he
yellow
wears out.
guy. Is that
We got yellow.
is that all right?
Yeah, we got plenty of yellow.
Awesome, perfect. God, do you guys have bars on the window so Tyler doesn't lick them clean?
Nope, it's coming.
I am curious too, right? I mean, I started as a deer hunter. I've been to Minnesota bear hunting, and I noticed obviously you've got Sitka or deer and bear hunting packages as well. I mean, similar to you're staying at the lodge and going out every day, or what's your deal there?
So we're just a big game transporter. We're not a guide, so we don't sell the right to shoot animals. There are people who do that, and it's very expensive. So what you can do, what we are is we're the hotel. So like if 4 guys wanted to go, let's say do like we call it a cast and blast in October. So you get to go in the rivers, catch the coho salmon that are swimming up to spawn. Then we duck hunt in the mornings, and then you can go deer hunt in the afternoons. But we're not a guide, we're a transporter. So you have to pick the location. You have to say, I want you to drop me off over there, and I'm going to go hunt for 3 hours and then pick me up on the beach. So it's like a DIY type thing. We also transport for bear hunters. So if they do have the appropriate tag, or if they've won a draw tag over like on Kuyu Island or Kupernoff or Prince of Wales, which there's a lot of lotteries, and they're actually pretty good odds. I think there's some that are close to 15 or 20% odds. So if you do it, 4 years in a row, you're going to hit one. So we offer their services. We're basically the hotel on the water, right? So they tell us where they want to go, what they want to do, and we take them there and they hunt.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially for guys that
Cool.
want to do the DIY thing, but don't have the logistics of doing all that, right? So they can just essentially a one-stop shop where he's going to take where I want to go. I know I can hunt for 6 hours and head back.
You just do your business. We're the guys that have to watch the anchor watch. We keep the water hot. We keep the food on the grill. We keep the freezers cold, making sure you're safe, making sure you're getting where you want to go. We've got 2 skiffs that crane down. Our guys will take you, within reason and within safety reason. They'll take you anywhere you want to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, Josh, I really want to say thanks. We appreciate you coming on. Like this, it was kind of random, right? Like we talked a little bit before the podcast. You've seen one of the reels that we posted and message saying, "Hey, I want to come on the podcast and chat."
Yeah, no, it's been awesome having you. And I mean, obviously, whenever we get done here, I'm going to pick your brain on a couple of questions. So hang out and it'll auto-populate us 3 back together or whatever. But
yeah, I appreciate you having me. I mean, look us up for anybody out there listening, and you'd be surprised. I hear a lot that you can afford to come hunt in Alaska. I think a lot of guys are paying this much to go down and shoot mallards in Arkansas and stay in an RV or stay in guys' scouse. We're I'm not going to say we're a luxury lodge, but we're a very nice lodge. We'll take care of you. We'll put you on the waterfowl, and I'm telling you, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. You've never seen this many birds, and you've never seen them just cooperate. The video of you guys' intro, I've never seen so many guys work so hard just to get a few ducks to come near them. It was like like chicks in high school for me. No matter what I did, they didn't want to come near me.
Yep.
Right.
So, coming somewhere with a lot better population, a lot better opportunity, it's just a ton of fun, and I'd love to help anybody out there plan an adventure up here. So I appreciate you guys.
No, that's awesome. They can find you obviously on the internet, right? Wild Strawberry
Yep.
Lodge. Yeah, you guys got
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yep. I'm all over the internet. You go to the owner's page there, my cell phone number's on there, email address, the contact's my email. So yeah, text me, call me, send me a message. I'm happy. Go to YouTube, look at my stuff on there. We were on a show called Chasing the 29. So that episode's out there on the Outdoor Channel, and it's on YouTube now. So that really shows what our hunts are like. So yeah, happy to discuss it with anybody and help them plan, even if it's a couple years out. Now is the time to plan and get on our calendar.
Yeah. No, how far out are you on duck hunts? Just out of curiosity.
We do have some available at the lodge this fall, and then next year I've got like maybe 2 to 3 prime weeks open. So we're already like halfway booked up for. We seem to be better on odd years. I don't know why the lodge is that way also. But we were a little light this year, but we picked up quite a bit of bear business and deer transport. So, and that's the thing, like the Legacy, there's only so much real estate and only so much inventory we can sell because I can only take 4 to 6 guys at a time. There's a very small operation. We're not looking for 500 guys a year that want to duck hunt. I'm looking for 30 guys a year that want to duck hunt. It's very one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps it more fun that way, honestly.
It does. Gonna get that many guys, and obviously you turn to more of a number, and they just want to get you in, get you out, get the next guys.
Right. Not at all. This is very, very personable. We're eating meals together. We're looking at the weather together. We're looking at the Windy app. Like, I'll go if you're willing to die. We can go.
I've never been scared a day in my life.
Willing is a very soft way of putting it.
Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up of the Duck Fellas podcast. And once again, if you tuned in, go check out Wild Strawberry Lodge up there in Alaska, and check them out. See if you want to book a trip, fishing trip in the future, hunting trip, whatever it may be. But if you're not,
it's always better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Remember that, fellas.
Yep, 100%. Anyways, if you're not following us, be sure to follow us and subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things, and go check out their social media pages and do the same. But that wraps up this episode of the Duck Fellas podcast. Until next time, be safe out there hunting this weekend in North Dakota for early goose.